If you are hearing these words now, know this. It is no mere coincidence. This is a response, a resonance from your soul, which has long awaited this call. Before we take a step into the most sacred of places, you must make a choice. Your like is not simply an expression of approval, it is a true declaration of your intention. Your subscription is your enlistment among those who seek tirelessly. The truth, which they so diligently hide behind a dense screen of daily news, is in fact simple and terrifying. This is not some conspiracy theory. It is a genuine plot directed against your consciousness, against your perception of the world. We stand on the very threshold of something truly colossal, something whispered about with trepidation in the dark corridors of power, something that flashes fleetingly in the vacant eyes of those already doomed. They say that the year 2026 will be a turning point, a year when the outer veils will crumble, when the illusion enveloping us like a shroud will begin to crack under the pressure of an unknown, all-consuming force. At the very heart of this approaching storm will lie the collapse of 3 of the largest banks. This will be no mere economic downturn, but a true ontological earthquake, shaking the very foundations of our existence and compelling us to question everything we once held immutable. Prophets, those rare souls, have always seen further than we mortals, mired in the fog of daily concerns. Their prophecies, often appearing fragmented and disconnected, are like scattered shards of a mirror. Yet, when pieced together, they form a chilling, unsettling vision of what is to come. Consider, for instance, the words of Martha Hill, a woman whose predictions, divined through the ancient, almost forgotten art of coffee grounds reading, possess a frightening, undeniable accuracy. Or cast your gaze upon the forgotten scrolls, discovered amidst the ashes of a burned monastery on the slopes of Mount Karama. They hold subtle yet significant hints of this coming era. A lost quatrain from Centuries the 11th, verse the 93rd, states, "When gold turns to dust and stone towers fall, the earth will sigh and a new sun will rise." It matters little whether this refers to literal gold bullion or metaphorical, irrational wealth, to real colossal stone towers or merely symbols of power and stability. The core remains unchanged. The system upon which our world so firmly rests is doomed to destruction. And these predictions, these prophetic signs, are far from isolated. Vanga, whose mysterious fame is shrouded in a mystical veil, foretold a great fall, a time when people would be deprived of shelter and their homes, when everything would become common, yet no one would own anything. The ancient and equally mysterious calculations of the Maya hint at coming cosmic cycles, at the completion of one era and the arrival of a new one, marked by unprecedented upheavals. But these are not merely vague prophecies. They are echoes of that eternal, profound wisdom that permeates all cultures and all eras. It is like a harmonic resonance, speaking of the same thing, the inevitability of change, of an impending transformation. In this picture of the possible collapse of familiar banking systems lies something more than just dry economic forecasts. It is a phenomenon bordering on technocratic mysticism, where fractal patterns of geopolitical events remarkably echo the influence of solar cycles on our collective thought on the noosphere. A persistent feeling arises, as if we are living in a world where familiar logic begins to crumble, where even those laws of physics that seemed unshakable to us are starting to falter. Perhaps this is some kind of collapse of quantum probability, that inexplicable feeling of anxiety that suddenly grips you at 3 in the morning. That strange alienation when you look at the faces of strangers on the street. No, this is not just ordinary depression. Your soul is suffocating, as if trapped within an impenetrable matrix. These are the desperate signals of your true essence, desperately trying to break through the web of lies, through the ghostly constructs we have become so accustomed to calling reality. This unease, this anxiety, they are merely harbingers of the coming awakening, a sign that you will soon begin to see the world without the veil of deception. And now we arrive at the very heart of this mystery, to that critical point where external horror reaches its ultimate peak, where the fragile line between illusion and truth is almost completely erased. But consider, what if all these frightening images, bloody wars, global crises, destructive pandemics, are actually just shadows dancing on the walls of an ancient cave? What if the true tyrant holding us captive is actually looking at you from your own reflection in the mirror? The universe is not unleashing its wrath upon humanity. She performs a precise yet resolute surgical procedure, purging us of poison. The poison of fear, ignorance, and tenacious, all-consuming materialism. It is akin to an act of supreme cosmic medicine, removing a malignant tumor that threatened to engulf us entirely. We resided within a fragile crown of glass, skillfully woven from our egos, and existed in a world of metallic veins, a soulless, mechanistic system where only faceless figures and cold power were deemed true value. And now, this artificial construct, this illusion of our grandeur, is relentlessly destined for destruction. However, there exists another, deeper truth. Prophecies are not mysterious predictions of an external savior's arrival. No, they are far more significant. They are an activation code, the key to awakening the Savior slumbering within each of us, every viewer, every participant in this grand performance. Prophets foresaw not a single hero, not an isolated figure. They witnessed something far more magnificent, an entire army of awakened souls. They saw precisely you. You are not merely passive observers, not just a small part of an awaited prophecy. You are its living, breathing fulfillment. And now, as the veil lifts from your eyes, as you finally begin to see the true state of affairs, as reality presents itself to you in all its stark nakedness, remaining on the sidelines like a spectator is simply impossible. Your like is not just a mark. It is a true flash of light that spreads across the boundless expanses of the network, reaching the farthest corners. Your share is a precious seed that you carefully plant in the parched earth of sleeping minds, giving it a chance to sprout and give life to new ideas. Your subscription is a silent but firm oath, a promise not to turn away from the truth. And if you feel within yourself a readiness for action, for true active participation, then our inner circle becomes a reliable operational base for you, a place where unity gains strength. And your support through super thanks is an inexhaustible energy that fuels the common flame of our struggle, burning ever brighter in the eternal battle against the encroaching darkness. Until we meet again, remain deeply aware, stay connected, and never, for a single moment, cease your search for answers by asking the most crucial question.